Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Let me get closer to you because I think...
Here, let me move this.
Yeah.
I can take it.
Mr. Bobby Sutton.
My super secret.
Bobby.
What's up, dude?
Good to have you, man.
Good to be here.
Yeah. So we were talking about...
We were actually talking about my family before we started rolling and how they're just in Austin. It's weird how taking it out and just like doing the clap marker made it so different.
Yeah.
But they're in Austin, Texas. They're just hanging out, having a good time. Yeah.
So you grew up in Texas. When you were around like that environment, I don't know why, but I feel like all people from Texas are very, or not all, maybe I'm generalizing, but like most of people, they have a very like creative force in them, or like a spiritual kind of like mentality. Is there something about that place?
Being from Texas?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because what part exactly?
Texas pride.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm from Austin.
Austin.
I guess, which could be considered like the more creative part of Texas. Mm-hmm. Whenever I tell people I'm from Austin, everyone always says, "Oh wow, you're from Austin.
Right.
That's cool. That's like LA." I'm like, I guess.
Okay.
I would say so. They have coined a couple phrases for themselves, like "keep Austin weird," so it's known for being eccentric and kind of eclectic, and then also live music capital of the world.
Yes.
It's another name for Austin. So.
And that's not live music. Okay. Yeah. And then Nashville. What's Nashville?
I have no idea what Nashville is.
Yeah, because like isn't Nashville like a super like musical?
Maybe they're just music capital of the world.
Exactly. And when you were a kid, like, did you always know that you were like an artist or a creative? Like, was that always a thing?
Yeah, I think it's the only thing that has kind of been the one constant in my life.
Would you draw? Like, what were like the first kind of things that you started doing as a kid?
I would trace Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember watching the old Transformer cartoons, and then I would go... We had, like, a home office. And there was, like... My parents had their computers, and then we had, like, a family computer.
Yeah.
And we weren't really allowed to watch TV when I was growing up. Like, my parents were just, like... They were just, like, try to minimize your time in front of the TV. But kind of keep that in check. So I didn't really watch too much TV or anything.
Really?
But I spent... That was always funny to me because... I wasn't allowed to like watch TV, I spent countless hours in front of the computer, like just
which is the same. You be like,
it's like possibly worse because it was when the internet was like, obviously the internet had been around, but it was still just like, I feel like it totally wasn't as globalized as it is now.
No, totally
even
not.
Just back in like 2000s.
I don't know. And different softwares and like... So what, would you just trace some paint?
Well, I would just find something, print it out, and like multiple sheets, put it together, and then go to like a big window like this and like use tracing paper and just like trace and just like practice. And I would do like different scenes together. And my parents had like an old video camera that I would make like little movies with, and then
at that age, like how old were you? Like 5, 6?
No, this is 8. Like when I was like 8.
Yeah.
11.
Why is it that number, man? Like that
8?
freaking number. Yeah,
number.
7 or 8. It's always like that one something happens.
I think it's because you're starting to like fully understand what interests you, or just like,
or like taking risks to explore.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. And like I don't even consciously think of risks in terms of exploring.
No? Like so whenever you're in like an explorative kind of experimental mode, like you're trying something new, you never are like, well, this is dangerous, blah 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 kind of thing.
Dangerous in what way?
Right. As in like
it makes me uncomfortable?
Yeah.
No.
No, not really.
No.
So like if you're trying, like, say you're creating a new song and you're trying new sounds that are like, that maybe some people would consider like
just weird
or like, oh, they're like uncomfortable, like for you don't put too much attention into that. Not really. Cool.
Nah, I really don't try to think too much about it.
Yeah.
Because if you do, you just end up stifling like yourself and not really doing anything.
No. Totally.
Because then a lot of people forget that you can go back and change things if you want to.
Right.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, it might be a pain in the ass. Am I allowed to cuss? Or what's the deal?
Oh, dude.
Okay. I was like, I don't know. Like, are you getting, like, are you sponsored or something? Like, what's the...
Not yet, I guess.
But it can be a pain in the ass to restart.
Yeah.
But you can.
You think, well, there's always something about it, because it's like you come in with a new perspective about a project, even if you're like remaking or refilming something.
Totally.
Yeah.
I would say the one time I've been uncomfortable with like doing anything music related is if I've been playing with someone else.
Uh-huh.
So like my great friend
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Patterson asked me to be in her band.
Okay.
And she makes fantastic music.
Yeah.
I would it's influenced by a lot of genres, but if I had to put it in anything, I'd call it like electronic folk.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Okay, yeah,
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And she's a fantastic writer.
Yeah.
Jordan Patterson. You see this? Cool. But anyway, she asked me to be... I actually just told her this for the first time a couple days ago.
Mm.
But when she asked me to be in her band, I was like, yeah, sure, I'll be in her band. She'd seen me play a couple live shows and stuff. And I was like practicing with her, and she does songs that... She plays in a different like guitar style than I do.
Mm-hmm.
She's plays in different time signatures. She plays in different keys. She plays in different like guitar tunings.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of her songs are always led by her, right? And so it became this part where I was like, oh, damn, like, I'm not good enough to play. Or, like, I don't think I'm understanding the type of playing that's going on. I'm not good enough to play. Like, I can't keep up. And then we went to band rehearsal one day, and other people were playing. And I was just like, I don't know if this is like the right fit for me.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was kind of frustrating learning new songs, and it was frustrating.
Because you were also learning their songs as well.
Yeah, I was learning Jordan's songs. And, but then one day we got a text, and she's like, hey guys, if like there's a new bassist, let us know, because our bassist just like left the band. And so we were like, oh shit. And I had considered just being like, hey guys, like maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I'm not the right fit. Because I guess I had a lot of self-doubt at that point.
Really?
Yeah. And then when the bassist left, I was like, okay.
This is
I'll stay.
Oh, really? Because you felt like a compromise for the band? Or...
Well, I was like, well, I can't like double down and leave I just like hang them up to dry. Yeah. And I was like, I just have to get better. Like, I have to try harder, and I have to, like, just think about these things.
Yeah, like, push yourself a little more creative.
And just do what I'm doing, and in the situation I'm in, you know, I can't really question it.
Absolutely.
And so, since then, I've become a way better guitar player.
Really?
And I've been so grateful to be in Jordan's band and to play with Andreas, who's our drummer, and Anita, who plays cello. And since then, we've had two other bassists, Phil and Angus. And it's just great playing live music with people who just enjoy music and people who are such talented musicians.
Right. And then you feel, isn't that like the environment that was kind of like what I was telling you a little bit about. Like, you want to be surrounded by people who like challenge you creatively and like push you out of your comfort zone for real. Totally. Because then, like, I mean, you're just saying it right now. Like, now you feel like a better artist thanks to it. Yeah,
and I am thankful for it, and I am thankful for feeling that. I think it was the first time that I addressed, on a conscious level, first time that I addressed the step out of your comfort zone mentality.
Yeah.
And that whole mantra, like,
yeah. Because sometimes it's not even that easy to like discern, is this like something that's uncomfortable, or is it just not like beneficial for me? And
right.
Like, why would I make myself like compromise my happiness? And so, like, you were talking a little bit about self-doubt, and I did want to ask you a little bit about that, because I feel like your body of work is super interesting, and like you have a lot of things that you express yourself freely, but do you feel like there are times where you feel like you're not doing enough?
I think there was some time where I was like, I'm not doing enough, but I was in school full-time. I was working full-time, And now that I'm out of school and like I've managed my work situation in the part where I'm working part-time a bunch of different jobs and doing a lot of commission work and getting paid from going and doing gigs and doing the screen printing stuff
or doing like, this art
or
painting.
Even like selling my own clothes, like not clothes that I've even printed on, but like clothes that I've had for a while and then just consigning them, you know, finding different ways just to live. I don't think about it anymore.
Awesome.
I don't think about it as terms of like, because for me the question, right, is you're not doing enough. Am I not doing enough? Well, like for what? Am I not doing enough for what? Like, am I not doing enough for the people? Am I not doing enough to like, quote unquote, make it as an artist? For me, making it as an artist is just like being able to eat and have something over my head while still
being able to produce this artwork.
Yeah, and just like it come from myself, you know?
Yeah.
And so, am I not doing enough? I just stopped asking myself that question. And then when I stopped focusing a lot on the doing
and like, just letting things
and just letting it flow and just get done. You know, I have these projects that I'm working on.
Yeah.
I just slowly chip away at them.
Yeah.
And do this like slow burn kind of thing.
Have you heard the story of like how, for instance, the David was built?
No.
Like, because you said chipping and like
marble.
Yeah, no, and no, also like no.
Yeah.
But a huge work of art and like so many ideas around a work of art, and like this idea that, you know, Rome wasn't built in one day. Like these things, take strenuous work, and little by little, like sometimes I put this expectation on myself that I have all these ideas. And then I get really frustrated when like, I'm working on them, but they're not happening quick enough, quote unquote, quick enough.
Yeah.
Meaning I don't know what that means sometimes in my head. It's like, whatever. But then realizing like, dude, if you just do a little bit every day, like soon enough you're gonna have something built, like something of worth sharing in like of meaningful substance as well. Totally.
And I've felt that come out sometimes, like if I'm like I said, I never grew up really watching much TV. I don't watch much TV now. And so in the times where like I would have downtime and just like sit down and watch TV, I just go and do something that would be towards like some
kind of project or idea.
And not even with the intention of it being a like product. Or the intention of
just like almost like, let me just, instead of watching TV, let me go have fun building this tower and just, I don't care if I finish it. Or just this toy, whatever.
Yeah, totally. Or just like learn the process.
The process.
Learning.
Appreciating it. Yeah. Well, that I wanted to ask you too, like today, like what do you, it's like a 2-part question. So like, what do you do in your free time when you don't, when you're not, quote unquote, working on your projects? And then the other one is a lot more loaded question, but today, how do you stimulate your own creativity? But let's start with the first one. Like, what do you do in your free time? Yeah.
Shit.
I know it's a number of
lot
things.
of stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, in my free time...
Do you watch movies? Is that a thing you do?
I do like watching movies.
Yeah.
I'll watch TV.
Right.
And I'll watch movies. I like going outside. I like spending time outside.
Yeah.
Lately I've been gardening.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
I've
sick.
been doing some composting. I've just been like over the past couple months collecting like all my compost materials and starting a compost pile, because I just bought some seeds and stuff, but they grow better in the fall time. And also like I'm kind of still plotting out our backyard and like where to plant everything, because there's a decent soil back there, but it needs to be more like nutrient dense. So I've just been working on some gardening stuff.
So composting meaning like you take, for instance, like grounded coffee, like eggshells, you put it all in like a bag.
I'll put it, there's like a corner of our backyard that I've just started putting stuff in there, and then I have it covered up a little bit.
You have to mash it or something?
Yeah, you mix it. You put some greens in there, so like lettuce, grass clippings,
like
banana peels,
rotten
whatever.
lettuce and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
That just
yeah, like any stuff that you could normally eat that's not like meat or grease or like poultry of any kind. Just all like raw vegetable products.
Wow.
You go and you put it in because then it gets broken down by the soil and like worms and different insects that go in, and you mix it with dirt and like mulch a little bit.
What's mulch? Oh, like
mulch is just kind of like the.
Yeah.
I think it's like a. I think. I'm not sure specifically what mulch is. I just know like what it looks like.
Right.
And it's like a dirt derivative, also mixed with kind of wood and dead wood.
And it looks like a little chippy thing.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
chippy.
Yeah. I think I know it. Yeah.
But so that's been cool. I've been working on that in my free time. That's nice. That's just relaxing. I like going outside into nature in my free time.
Do you like driving around, or you just walk around?
I do like going on long drives actually.
Yeah.
Like a nice.
Yeah, I heard you the other day when
a nice long drive is good.
Like just anywhere.
Yeah. Mulholland Drive is a good drive.
Yeah.
Going up the Topanga Canyon and the lookouts. Just going up the one.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's a cool way. You know, have you ever been to San Francisco?
Once. It was amazing.
Yeah, you should make some time and go up there again. I mean, like, it's just nice to go up the one and forget about like all the other roads until it forces you to go back on those roads.
And literally, I didn't even take that one because we were like a little bit rushed for time. We wanted to get there, like not too late. And the one is like the longer kind of, but it's a more scenic route.
Totally, you go through Big Sur.
Yeah,
you can go through Slow.
Yeah, no, I totally wanted
Santa Barbara. Well, now I'm working my way down, but
yeah, awesome. So then, how do you today stimulate your creativity? What does that look like for Bobby Sutton?
So, what is my day today? Let's see. So I woke up. I screen printed 6 T-shirts just to like do a test. We just got like a small kind of run at. We went to T-shirt warehouse. You ever been to T-shirt warehouse?
No.
It's on Sepulveda. They just have like a bunch of blank tees and
and they sell them for like bulk prices and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Generally cheaper. Printed on those. Then I came here. This is definitely a stimulation, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like talking about it and just creativity in general, or just talking it out. And also catching up. Yeah. And then,
like, is there something as well, like you would say, even for instance, do you experiment? Like, sometimes I think, like, I find myself in a creative, quote, I don't know if it's a block. Just, like, say I'm writing something and, like, I just can't keep writing. I need a little air. But then I will do something that is completely out of that. Like, I wanted to make ice cubes made out of coffee, for instance. I don't know. Like, something like that.
Yeah.
Does that happen to you?
I do experiment.
Yeah.
One new thing that I'm going to try, because I've been screen printing so much.
Yeah.
And I've been doing a lot of ceramics work, because we also have like ceramic studio at our house.
In your house? I thought that was in LMU, dude. How did you create that setup? That's amazing.
It is I mean, I had been doing ceramics at LMU, but I had been doing ceramics since I was like 12.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. At home in Texas. Because I used to be really into like props and masks.
Yeah.
And like I was obsessed with Alien and Jurassic Park when I was younger.
Okay.
Like around that age.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did they make these monsters? Like, how did they do all this crazy?
Right.
Because it was in camera. It was not visual effects.
No. Practical. Full 100%
effects. And I was like, dude, how do they do this? And so I found a studio called Stan Winston Studios, and they're still around.
Yeah.
But there was like a period of time where they were just like doing all these major blockbuster movies.
Like Iron Man and kind of thing?
Yeah,
maybe?
like they legitimately worked on the first Iron Man.
Oh, yeah, where they made the suit?
They made the suit for him, and then they made like the whole Ironmonger suit. They did both like the Mark 1, 2, and 3.
Holy shit. You work with them.
And so I would love to work with them. I have not worked with them before.
So if you're listening to this, please
Please.
Please work with this guy.
Fulfill my 12-year-old dream. Honestly, still a dream now to do like. I've done a little bit of specialty prop making here and there. I've done.
Dude, I actually was I was PAing on a short film, and you did a box for it with the light.
Oh, you were on that film?
Yeah.
Oh,
no,
cool.
I was just PAing, like helping out because I wanted to meet more people. But like, dude, it was so cool.
I did the metal box for them.
Yeah.
For Nicole. Shout out Nicole.
Yeah.
I want to see that movie when it's done.
Yeah.
And Tom Bowles shot the movie. I never met the guy who met the movie though, Sam. We were supposed to have like 3 separate Zoom calls with me, him, and Nicole. Maybe 2.
Yeah.
I think it was 2.
Anyway,
he didn't show up.
It didn't happen.
I was like, dang, I wonder who this guy is.
Mm-hmm.
But circling back, to like ceramics and experimenting and everything.
Yeah.
I tried my hand at making masks because I was very inspired by Stan Winston and everything, and that went pretty well. And then I had met someone out here who was like a mask maker as well.
Whoa.
He gave me some tips and techniques, so I want to experiment with that. But the most recent experiment that I'm trying to do is have like a slab of clay and then screen print the glaze onto the clay. So...
Okay.
The glaze is like the finish of the clay. So you have your
clay,
you
have the
like if you have a clay cup, what you do is you bisque it. So you fire it in the kiln, and then it comes out solid. It goes from clay to like I guess clay is a rock, but it becomes more of the rock, like the cup you would hold later.
Absolutely.
And then you glaze it, which is just glaze is glass.
Oh, okay, which makes it the shiny, that gives it the shiny look.
Yeah, it makes it have that sheen and everything. So that's coated in a glaze, like a nice...
But then you have to bake it again.
Yeah, so then you fire it again.
But how do you do the glaze?
You can dip it, so you can like take the glaze, like you have it in a bucket, and then you have your cup, and you can just like dip it in. And
but how do you make the actual glaze, the glass?
How do you make the actual glaze?
Yeah.
I've never tried making a glaze before.
Yeah.
So I don't know actually.
So you just buy the glaze.
Yeah, you just buy it, or like if you know where to get some, you could go get some. All the glazing I've done has already been made at LMU and stuff.
So now you wanted to try something with the glazing of... Because you said you wanted to experiment with something.
Yeah, so it's in liquid form, right? Mm-hmm. And so it's like this... It's just like water.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, you got to mix it up. But when it's at its like peak consistency, it's very fluid in it. Like forms and dries fast. And it's easily washable and stuff. But I want to take that screen, like you have a design in a screen print, and once I fire like a slab and just have it bisqued, I want to lay the screen on it and then pull that ink or pull that glaze through the screen.
So only the sheen with the design comes up.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Oh, that is sick.
So I wonder. So I'm like very curious as to like how it would turn out, because then you can do like. You can just do designs on it, and then you like...
And they're like shiny.
Yeah.
And colorful or not. Yeah.
Totally.
Oh, dude,
Depending on which ones you use and like...
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's done that. I haven't seen anyone really trying that, but it would just be... That's just an idea I had because I was screen printing so much, and then I just started working on like a new ceramics piece.
Oh, I love it. Is it the little boy? I think I saw a post up on Instagram.
Yeah. Here, you want to see?
Yeah, sure.
Let's see. This. Oh yeah, and I was also practicing like figure sculpture, so you can swipe.
Ooh, that's super clean. Wow, and it looks like the roots look like a finger, dude. Oh, that's beautiful, man. I'm gonna put some of these pictures if you send them to me.
Yeah, I'll send them to you
on the YouTube thing. Oh, dude, that's beautiful.
So that's cool.
And that's a model basically that you're gonna bake.
Yeah. So this will get fired in the kiln,
and then
this
get hard.
This will become the stoneware, the bisqueware, and then you can glaze it. I think I'm just gonna dip it in white glaze. There's a glaze called Myolica White, which is just this really nice, just like pristine, super clean, just like paper white glaze.
And not color it at all, like just leave it all white.
I think I'm gonna do a white base layer and then just use like this blue called cobalt blue, which is really
I know the cobalt blue. Yeah.
This really stiff, nice, like royal blue.
Yeah.
And it'll kind of turn out with that white and blue is like classic Delftware, which is like old Dutch type of ceramics.
Yeah. And then you're just gonna like do accents of it, I assume.
Yeah.
Do you paint it before you? No, you paint it after you bake it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then you put it one more time in the to get
to like
fire.
burn it in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And for it to turn all the glassy color and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. I love hearing about this too. I've been wanting to take a little ceramics class just for fun.
Dude, you should. It fucking sucks because ceramic studios are so expensive.
They are?
They're so expensive.
Fuck.
Like, you could probably go do like a class. Like, if you ever wanted to do a class, I'm sure you could do a one-time payment and then like they're there. But to actually go back to a studio,
yeah.
whack. So I'm.
It's a shame I couldn't take it on LMU as a class. Yeah. Hey, but anyway, going back to the conversation because we did rant a little bit about ceramics there. Do you how's filmmaking going for you? Because I know
it's good. We're finishing a feature.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You say you wrote a comedy, a coming of age story.
Yeah, a coming of age story. It's I would say it's like coming of age genre in the term where it just has to do with like younger people living together. But it's more of like a surrealist comedy.
Okay.
Like a surreal rom-com in a way.
Oh, interesting.
Which is interesting. So it's like if you took Napoleon Dynamite and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and kind of like jammed them together.
Love that.
It are the two comps that I've been doing. Some other comps, let's see, I don't know.
What's comps?
Like a comparable, like a film that would be comparable to the film we're making. So one that already exists. Like how would I compare like a similar film that's comparable to our film is like Virgin Suicides is a good one.
It's that, and that one's out?
Yeah. It's an old film.
I haven't checked it out.
You haven't seen it?
Yeah.
You should check it out. That's a good one.
Yeah, I did watch. I told you about it. I watched your thesis.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you did. You did tell me about this.
Dude, a beautiful work. What? Remind me of the name again. It's a beautiful Italian name.
Affetti is the name.
Affetti, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really good. If you haven't seen it, you should go check it out on YouTube. Right?
There's the link.
There's the link. But it's really beautiful work, and like the part of the scans.
Oh yeah, that was cool,
dude. It was crazy because
that was an experiment too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did I tell you
I
like?
didn't know if it would work.
Right. No, and it works really well.
Yeah.
Like, dude, and I did something like that one night just out of laziness.
Oh
of
yeah.
Like, yeah, I'll show you the pictures later.
I'd love to see.
Yeah.
You tried it.
And it was so cool, but I was really like. I felt like, whoa, that's so crazy that like I watched that put on film. Like because I left the images on my desktop. I haven't done anything with it.
Yeah, to like incorporating them into
a story,
and like how they, like what it does to help propel the narrative forward.
Yeah,
it's really interesting.
Yeah. And great, Maya and Lizzie were amazing. Dude. Yeah. Oh my god.
They were crazy. Yeah. That was Lizzie's first time acting.
Yeah, I know.
It's just like
insane.
Well, it definitely played into the whole because I had taken a world cinema class.
Okay.
And we watched like a lot of neorealist stuff that had to do with just a lot of people like doing nothing and just living their life.
Yeah.
And like talking about.
Yeah.
Like philosophical stuff in the way I do kind of view this movie, or I guess I view filmmaking kind of in like a philosophical way.
Of course. Yeah.
Just because it combines so many different art forms.
So many.
And because I actually wrote an article about this for our friends' magazine, Enzo the magazine. Shout out Liban and Alex and Chet and Eternal. Powered by Eternal. Don't forget.
God damn it, bunch of shout outs.
That's so funny. For Enzo the magazine, they just did their 7th issue. Mm-hmm. They do really cool stuff. Those are some guys who really just do it. Wow. You know how we were talking about just really thinking about it and just kind of executing and not like worrying too much about all the trivial like, of course you have the self-doubt and everything, but kind of putting that to the wayside and doing it.
And just doing it.
That's one thing I like about their magazine and those guys and just kind of how they approach things. It's just cool, very much like...
And creative.
Totally. Mm-hmm. But I asked if I could write an article for them about the process of making movies. And I wrote about three, like when you make a movie, there's kind of three movies you make. Like there's the movie you make when you first conceptualize it and you have it in your head and you think about it and like you romanticize it. And then when you're writing it down, you're like, oh, this is who's going to play this is how we're going to shoot this, I know what music is going here, I can see it in my mind, and that's what gets you started. That's what gets you excited about making the movie. So when I was making my thesis, that's kind of what started. I was idealizing like this idea of Italian neorealism, hence the Italian name. You know, using Maya, who's a trained actor and has been acting all her life, and then using Lizzie, who's not a trained actor, which they did a lot with neorealism in Italian cinema. They were telling real life stories with real life people. So I was taking elements from that, and I wanted to make this kind of abstract piece that dealt with like subconscious and just the idea of like loss, you know, a very understanding story. And then finally when you get to shooting the movie, that's a whole different movie you're making, right? Because then you have the shot list, and then you have the AD who's like, guys, we need to be on time. And then you're talking with your cinematographer who's like, all right,
a known artist, like they have their own vision.
Half the reason that film is as good as it is because of Jacob Lawless.
This guy.
Jacob Lawless.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. And this is something Lawless always says, and I've taken it very personally now, is that you're only as strong as your team.
Dude.
Which is incredibly true.
And it's so true of life, which is the thing that now after graduating, it becomes real because the bubble has popped in a way. Of proximity and like constructor circles, and like the people you surround yourself with matters like you have no idea. And
also being forced to like deadlines. You know,
accountability.
Like not totally self-reliance. And like not having people just being like, this is due on this date. So else if you don't do it, you're gonna be in trouble, because like you're not really gonna be in trouble. You know, even
it's always like fear of punishment, and now you gotta get rid of that priming, because it's also like there's a reason for why it's hard to have self-reliance, because like people at least who have gone to school, even into college, for like 10, 20, or even at home 12 years of their lives, they've been told you gotta do this, and you have this deadline, or you have this structure, and then this pattern.
How do you feel about that? The idea of self-reliance. You find that you've been...
It's been hard. Yeah. It's been hard, and I feel like I've come to understand new waves of it. Like at the beginning when I came out of school, like I've always thought of myself like as a disciplined person, and because of my experience in childhood was like I was a competitive swimmer. Yeah. So like you had to show up for rehearsals early, and then my dad was also like very like particular about like, you know, you do the hard stuff first, and then like you can relax after, kind of like mentality. Work hard, play hard. Right. And then like, I'm like, okay, I'm in school, I'm pretty good with my grades, blah blah. You get the little things easy, but then when it comes to following the things that you really love, that's when I've hit like wait a minute. So like part of me believes in like the law of attraction and that kind of thing. But in order to attract something doesn't mean that you're just gonna sit around and just meditate and let it happen. I feel like I've come to understand that you also have to create proactive steps, and you have to be
all the time. All the time. You have to have like there's only so much that can be presented to you, an opportunity, but you have to be like, what did I say?
You have to be at the right.
Oh, wow. I read this one. It was like luck is when opportunity meets preparedness.
Exactly. Exactly. And then I'm like, great. So now, like, it's good to create. I feel like leaning into what works for you is not. It's good. Like I know that routine helps me, or like maybe helps other people as well. Where like you create a certain. Like I wake up at this time. You do this time, and then like you block like your day out, you know, in such a way where you can feel productive and then. Being hard on yourself, but then also giving yourself like profound leeway, right? Like finding the balance. Totally.
It's like being self-reliant and accountable. Really, like understanding that like the deadlines you set for yourself, you should take seriously. And really work towards it.
Yeah.
Even when other people are like, oh, well, it was just an arbitrary deadline. It's like...
No. But it matters. Because you believe in that
right? Like,
idea.
it is arbitrary, but, like, are we not all working towards the same goal?
Exactly.
Do we not want to finish this?
Exactly.
Like, do we not want to... Because, you know, when you get involved in a big group project or something...
Or a huge collaboration.
Right?
Yeah.
Like making a movie... There does come to a point, because someone, I feel like, agrees to be on your set, like, at some point, however deep it is up to them, that they have, like, heard you out, listened to the vision, but then they're bringing their own vision to it. And they have somehow, like, had that... They tapped into that beginning part, that ideation process of making the movie, where they romanticize it too a little bit. They understand
because they're bringing their own creative selves
down
to it.
And willing. They're coming up with their own ideas.
Yeah.
They're talking to you about it. They're excited about it. And so, one thing that's tricky about making a movie, to tie it all back, is like keeping that energy throughout the whole time. So, right, you have your ideation movie. You have your execution movie, and then you have like the edited movie,
which is a new one,
which is a totally new one, because then you're looking at it again and you're like, fuck, we didn't get the shot we needed.
But also,
like,
new idea out of those conflicts, new ideas come out of nowhere, which is crazy.
Totally. While working on the feature, we had there's like so many transitions that we didn't get, that we needed to get. You know, like when they tell you need an exposition shot, you need an exposition shot. But then, like, there's one scene, which you'll see when it comes out, is like, it's going from a nighttime shot to a FaceTime call. And we're like, how do we even bridge that gap?
Right.
And, like, during the phone ringing, right, you hear, like, the iPhone noise that's like...
Okay.
Right? During those rings and chimes, the screen matches to cut that. So it's like an oral edit instead of like a visual edit. And so you're thinking about these different... With those obstacles in mind.
So wait, you're like cutting back and forth with something else?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it's just like a taste into the next scene.
Yeah.
And then you watch it, and someone who hasn't seen that before is like, whoa, how did you even think of that?
Right.
Oh, it's because we fucked up.
And those are the happy accidents, dude.
Right?
Those are the best.
We weren't thinking about it.
And I feel like the most creative ideas come from there. Like, there's just, like, having roadblocks or, like, obstacles. Have you ever heard the theory, like, it's easier to draw on a paper when you have, like, 2 lines than when you have a blank paper on it?
Yeah.
Like, the idea that something's already there.
Something's already there.
To start.
That's why I always say this. The hardest part is starting.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Van Gogh said that as well.
Who?
Van Gogh.
Van Gogh?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's true. Shout out Van Gogh.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Legend.
Do you have any favorite artists that you admire currently? Like, I know that's a changing topic, but do you have people that you look into?
As of right now, dude, Jeff Buckley. The musical artist.
No, I haven't heard of him.
If you don't listen to Jeff Buckley, you should.
Yeah?
Dude. Yeah.
What does he do with his music that's cool or, like, you appreciate?
It's, like, just good storytelling, I think. Good storytelling. Like, compositionally, it's very beautiful. The album specifically that I'm talking about is Grace. For musical artists, for visual artists, I mean, there's, like, of course, like, the greats, right? Like, Picasso and Dali and Frida Kahlo.
Yeah.
And, like, Georgia O'Keeffe.
Yeah. Have you ever seen...
Great artists.
Yeah. Have you seen Georgia O'Keeffe's, like, cloud paintings?
Yes.
They're so cool.
For the longest time, my background on my phone was a Georgia O'Keeffe painting.
Oh, awesome.
It was like I think it's called Pink and Blue #1 or something. And it was from the series that she did of, like, up close pictures of flowers.
Ooh.
Which are all super beautiful.
Wow.
And they're very, like, suggestive in a way. And, like, reminiscence of, like, kind of feminine anatomy. It's cool. It's really cool. Who else? Dude, honestly, all the people I live with, I'm very inspired
By
in
them?
my house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Jack picked up doing ceramics this past year, and he's been like super inspiring me to just like push it different in different ways. Screen printing, you know, my friend Carly screen prints a lot, and our friend Megan screen prints a lot. Just pushing it to be different and pushing it to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to understand that there are no rules. There's no rules.
Good.
And that's the coolest thing that I think I've realized.
Yeah.
Is that
you make the rules.
Yeah, you do make the rules.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, when I say there's no rules, take it with a grain of salt. Like, I'm not gonna fucking fly out here, right?
Right.
And like, I can't do anything. Like, I couldn't turn into a dog if I wanted to.
Exactly, unless you kill yourself and then you reincarnate or something.
Exactly. Right.
Mm.
And then, but you know, when people are just like, you can do anything. I think
you really can.
Your potential.
Yeah.
Is there?
It's absolutely there. Yeah.
Within the bounds of.
Yeah.
You know,
dude, thank you so much for this sharing this lovely chat. I do want to ask you a couple last questions before we get to the last part. What do you think makes an artist an artist? The dishwasher.
Yeah. a dishwasher.
Yeah.
What makes an artist an artist? I don't know. This is like such a crazy loaded question.
I know, but like I want to hear your take on it.
Different.
Like, listen, it's your take on what day's today? August 4th, 2022. This, as you said, can change.
Totally.
And
totally.
What do you think today about it? And in this chat.
Hold on, I am genuinely trying to think.
Yeah. No, please, take your time.
I don't know. I once read a quote that was like, I am a mosaic. Like, my personality, or who I am fucking... Maybe I wrote it down. I don't want to misquote it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, here. This last part was from a quote, but I remember, like, putting this first part before, because I don't remember if I heard it or read it or what, but it's like two quotes together. And it says, "You left a footprint on my heart, and I am a mosaic of every person I have ever met." Ooh. So I think that in terms of art, it's like borrow, you know? What makes an artist is being in tune with your world.
Yeah.
And really enjoying the process and experimenting and consuming like other stuff that you like. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Like stealing like an artist kind of thing. Yeah.
I don't know.
You're an imprint of other people too. Like of your art is such. It's like, well, it's what I advocate in 98% original. It's like the sole purpose of the name is that.
Right. It's
that.
Like, I don't know. What makes an artist is also context. You know, how they view their own art, where they want their art to be seen. Because as we're saying, like, we're changing all the time, you know? So, like, this is also from a different interview, actually, with Kevin Abstract and Rick Rubin. So, you know Rick Rubin and you know Kevin Abstract?
Like, these are people within our circle?
No, not within our circle. These are, like... Rick Rubin has started Def Jam Records, famous record producer. Okay. Kevin Abstract is a musician who started Brockhampton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were talking about the immediacy of projects, and like Kevin had once said something. He was like, there's an immediacy to doing your projects. And he's like, where you can take how you feel like in that moment and then convey it into the art that you're making, which I find to be true. But I also find it to be true, and I think this is like Rick's take on it, is like you can kind of sit with that emotion for a while and then bring it into it. So to relate this to what makes an artist is like being able to contextualize kind of your emotions and then tap into that, if that makes sense. You know? Yeah. Like when people make art and they say, oh, it's just like an expression of self. Like as corny as it sounds, it gets brought up every single time. Yeah. Right? Even in the context of it being corny. Yeah. Because it is just like, there's always some part of you and some part of something else that came together subconsciously and had a child. Or consciously. Yeah. It is affecting your perspective 100%. Of how we're living and how you're doing. And like, even if you wanted to run away from it.
Oh, well, what is imagination? Imagination is a construct of also your past experience. Exactly. It's almost like you imagine new things, but because of what you've absorbed in the past.
Totally. And what you've experienced and like where you were at. And like in a media example, Jack just came back from Europe and he was super inspired by all the architecture. I mean, you were there. You saw it. Yeah. And it's amazing. Just like, and you can see it manifesting in like these new ceramic pieces.
Yeah, that he's doing.
Right. Yeah. And Jacob loves fireworks, and he started doing these firework paintings that are the super gestural, like
exploding on the canvas.
Not exploding on the canvas, but watercolor paintings. Like it's such a good painting style in my opinion, because I love it, because it's like taking something that's like explosive and aggressive and then transcribing it onto canvas with something gentle like watercolors.
Yeah, beautiful.
It's
right?
this nice dichotomy, and it's very gestural, and he normally does illustration. Oh wow. So he's working differently within like his comfort zone. Me being asked to do a screen print commission and getting back into the world of screen printing, and then wanting to bring those screen printings into the design. What makes an artist is like living your life. Yeah. You know? Yeah. Finding what you love, going outside, like looking at patterns in nature, bringing it in, going to a concert with your friends, isolating those moments and how you felt. Like, how do I convey that joy that I felt at Luke's improv at Luke's improv show to something, right? Yeah. I saw an apple tree there, and now I want to plant an apple tree in my garden. Oh. I think people just need to. People get so caught up in like, what's my next thing? Like, they just forget to fucking live and be fucking present. And that's what's cool. Yeah, Even like, just like, what makes an artist is living a life that I think you're proud of and happy with, you know, and content, and I would say driven by like a lot of love and acceptance. Yeah. And then, because then you're like an open source. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Amen.
Thank
you, bro. Thank you so much for this. This has been really wonderful. As there's exercise in creativity and like a chat, I always love finishing the podcast with like a little fun kind of thing or game. What's your favorite word?
My favorite word? The first word that came to mind right now is oxymoron.
Okay, oxymoron. 1 second. Can you make up a song with the word oxymoron?
Yeah, sure. Let's try it. Let's try it. Is this standard tuning?
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oxymoron. This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is really on the spot.
And I can be your chorus if you want.
This is something that I have. This is a chord progression that I haven't ever written anything over. oxymoron, and I know take your hand and melt my fears. Walk with me through the years. So gentle and so kind. I wanna hold you all my life because it feels like heaven when I'm with you, and I can feel it all around in the warmest hue. When you told me to be kind, and you hold me all my life, and I'm an oxymoron, so don't you cry, can't you see? Just live your life, and can't you see? Just live your life, can't you see? Just live your life.
That was so sick, dude. That was beautiful. That is beautiful.
This is a swag guitarist.
Yeah. Hey.
This Martin, yeah, it's a Martin. Crazy.
Yeah. Thank you, bro.
Dude, thank you.
That was fantastic.
This ruled. It's got me sweating out here.